All right, beautiful people, this is another episode of the Silicon Valley to Spirituality Show. And this is the show where we take spiritual knowledge and help you integrate it into your day-to-day life, because I have found that many people, when they learn about different spiritual concepts like non-duality or raising their frequency, they no longer want to live in this 3D space-time Newtonian world. So I want to help you take all of this spiritual knowledge and turn it into something practical. And today we are going to be talking about how to increase your confidence level and how to have better relationships, not just with yourself, but with other people as well. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump into the podcast. All right, everybody, welcome back. So we are going to jump into question number one, which is Lila from Vancouver writes in saying, I always doubt myself in relationships, like I'm not lovable enough. How can I build authentic confidence? So the question here is, how can I build authentic confidence while I always doubt myself if I'm lovable? Okay, so number one is I want you to remember that you are inherently worthy just by your being. There is nothing to prove. Okay, so what I mean by that is your wholeness, your completeness is not dependent on achieving or accomplishing or being in a relationship with someone. You are perfect as you are. You are part of everything, everywhere, all at once, or all that is could not be all that is without you, without me, without everybody here listening. Okay, so that's number one, is just realizing that you are already whole and complete. There is nothing to prove to anyone out there or in here. It's just a remembering that you are already an infinite, eternal being that is already whole and complete. Okay, so number two is remembering that your soul's essence is pure love. So reconnect with this essence of pure love every single day. And one of the things that I'd like to do is just put my hand on my chest, really just connect with my heart center and say to myself, I am whole, I am complete, I am worthy of love. And then I'll just keep saying that over and over. I am whole, I am worthy, I am complete. And I just realized I said something different, but you could do any combination of that. So I do different affirmations every day by really connecting and knowing that my soul's essence is pure love. And like I said, it's just a simple exercise, putting your hand on your heart. I am whole, I am complete, I am worthy of love. All right, so that's tip number two. Now, tip number three is I want you to focus on self-appreciation, okay? So I want you to do this daily, all right? Every morning, I want you to write 3 things that you admire about yourself every day. And I want you to choose 3 different things, okay? So this is similar to a gratitude journal. This is something that you do every single day, not just do for a week or for a month and then you're good. No, do this every day, because this is a practice. This is something that we're cultivating: self-love, self-confidence. These are things that if you don't work on them every day, just like your muscle, if you're not training your muscles every day, they begin to atrophy. So these are things that we do consistently. This is what living a spiritual life is about. It's not about going into the 5D. It's not about, channeling Pleiadians. It's about what you could do each and every day right here on Earth, 3D space-time, and to increase your ability to enjoy your existence, because there is only the now moment. There is no future. There is no past. Everything that has ever happened, everything that will ever happen, all happening simultaneously in the present moment. So this is about how you can be happy today, how you could appreciate the version of you, the version of who you are today, not the version of you who you think you will be in the future. All right. So the last tip number 4 is every relationship begins as a reflection of your relationship with yourself. So if you feel like your significant other only loves you when you're doing the things that they like, if you think that your significant other only likes you when you are accomplishing something great, most likely you are just projecting. And this is all about a relationship with yourself, all right? Every relationship that we're in is a reflection of the relationship that we have with ourselves. If someone triggers you, that they did something that maybe cuts you off, that is an opportunity to look at why did that trigger you so much? Someone just cut you off, And so when we're in a relationship with someone, this is the best mirror that we could ever have. So for example, if you believe that your partner only treats you well when you do something nice for them, most likely you only treat yourself well when you do something nice for yourself, like when you get a promotion, or if you get a new car, or if you buy something new that you've always wanted, and this is how you use having a relationship to have a better reflection of who you are. And the reflection will always go back to your wholeness and completeness. So if you're doing things to feel more whole and complete, if you're doing things to fill that hole, then you will understand this is a part of you that you don't accept. And if there are parts of you that you don't accept, then there will be parts of you that your partner doesn't accept. And in order to have unconditional love from someone else, you have to have unconditional love for yourself. All right, Lila, I hope that helps. Now let's jump into question number 2 here. All right, question number 2. Mateo from Madrid asks, how can I be more confident in conversations, especially at work and social events? So the question here is, how can I become more confident in conversations at work or social events? All right, so number 1 is presence is power. All right, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. All right, it's more of your energy than your words, right? So you could watch comedians on TV, you could copy exactly what they say, and some people may laugh, some people may not laugh. It's not about the words, it's about the energy. All right, so do you bring in nervous, anxious energy, or are you coming in knowing that you are whole and complete, knowing that you are an infinite, eternal being, and showing up with that higher frequency and that higher vibration? Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is practice heart-centered listening, not performance. All right, so what is heart-centered listening? Well, I like to say there's a lot of different types of listening, but the 2 most common types of listening that I see is you listen to affirm. So you're basically agreeing with the person. Yeah, your mom's horrible, or yeah, your boss is an idiot, or yeah, your significant other, they're a waste of time, right? They're just affirming, they're agreeing with you, they're trying to make you feel good. Then there's listening to be a contrarian, right? We all know people like this in our lives, the people that listen to you and you know that they fundamentally have the same belief system, but they're always disagreeing with you. And that type of person, probably pretty hard to be around, all right? So practice heart-centered listening. This is just listening to listen. So as you're listening, you're not making any judgments like, yes, I agree with that, or no, I don't agree with that. You're just listening. And once you finish listening, then you can respond. All right, trust yourself that if you just listen and you're not in your head thinking about a response, that after that person is finished speaking, you will know what you need to say at that right moment. Okay, so let's look at some other tips here. All right, so tip number 3 is let go of the need to impress, right? We just talked about not being performative in your listening, and now we're talking about not being performative to try to impress people. All right, so the way that I like to think about this is that some people, when they write things, when they say things, they're doing it because they want love. All right, I want more likes, I want more attention, I want more comments, I want more engagement. Then you could write from love or communicate from love. All right, so not for love, but from love. And when you are communicating from love, whether it's verbally or written, people will know that you are in your authentic frequency. People will feel it, right? So we all know that there are smooth talkers out there and they are really good at getting gullible people to agree with them. But if you're tapped into these higher frequential realms, if your consciousness is expanded, you will sense something from someone. Like they might be saying all the right things, but it just doesn't feel right. So you trust that. So the inverse also is when you are not authentically yourself, when you are performing, then people are going to pick up on this inauthentic version of yourself. So when you write from love, when you communicate from love, not everyone is going to agree with you, but the people that resonate with your frequency, you are going to hit them so deep in their heart, you are going to be able to tap into them on the soul level. And that's how you speak with confidence, is you speak not for love, you speak from love. All right. And then the last one is anchor your intention, all right? And the intention is, how can I be of the highest service here? All right, how can I be of the highest service? So anytime I do one of my podcasts, that's exactly what I ask myself. How can I be of highest service to all of my listeners? Not how can I get the most followers, not how can I sell the most things to them, not how can I get them to share this podcast with as many friends as possible. It's how can I be of the highest service? How can I help them so that they could help others? And if you keep that in mind, you are going to be super confident in conversations, whether at work or at social events. All right, Mateo, let me know if that is helpful. And let's go ahead and jump into question number 3. All right, let's get into question number 3. Yuki from Kyoto writes, I struggle to make friends because I'm shy. How can I become more confident connecting with new people? So the question here is, how can I gain confidence to make new friends if I'm shy? So number 1 is, shyness is a sensitivity. So see it as a beautiful gift, not as a flaw. All right, so I'm not very shy, but I have shy children. They're highly sensitive children. They're very sensitive to bright lights, loud sounds, things of that nature. And they're also very shy, but I always tell them, this is a sensitivity. It's a beautiful gift. It's not a flaw. And when you think about just being more sensitive, a lot of shy people tend to be highly sensitive, and that's why they are shy, because they could pick up on people being uncomfortable or people not liking a certain thing. And when you are highly sensitive, sometimes you're picking up on things that don't have anything to do with you, but you have no idea. Like, why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling angry? Why am I feeling judgmental? Well, you're picking up on other people's energies, not your own. And that could definitely start closing you off if you don't know what is going on and make you feel more shy. All right. Number 2 is, one small act of courage opens a door to connection. All right. So I always tell my children, when you are in a situation and you don't know anyone, trust that there are a lot of people there that are feeling the exact same thing as you. So if you go up to someone and you just introduce yourself, hi, I'm Sabo, what's your name? Right? Like, a lot of people will be so open, so receptive to that. And every single time that you go up to someone and you introduce yourself and you get a receptive response, that's going to build your confidence. That's going to let you know that, okay, I might be shy, I might be sensitive, but that doesn't hold me back from connecting with people. Okay, and this to me is so fundamentally important, because confidence just doesn't get built because you tell yourself affirmations or things like that. Confidence gets built one action at a time. All right, your mind may understand what I'm saying, but your body is going to need the evidence to know that what I'm saying is true. So if I just tell you that you're confident, yeah, maybe in your mind you feel confident, but when you go into a public setting and you got to meet someone, all of a sudden, all the feelings in your body, make you feel nervous, make you feel anxious, and then you all of a sudden, all that confidence goes away. So how do you build real confidence? You build real confidence by giving yourself more repetitions, by going up to strangers, by being in situations where you might be uncomfortable and walking up to someone and just introducing yourself. And yes, there will be times when people do not want to engage and interact, and that is perfectly okay. But I could tell you, in 99% of the interactions that I have, everyone is extremely open, everyone is looking to connect, and once you build the confidence that you are able to connect with people, it's going to be so easy. All right, and here's the last one. I want to teach you an affirmation that I like to do. So every time I do affirmations, I really like to put my hand over my heart, and I don't just say the affirmation, I really try to feel it. So the affirmation that I want to share with you is, my presence is enough. I magnetize aligned connections. Okay, let's say it one more time. My presence is enough, and I magnetize aligned connections. My presence is enough, and I magnetize aligned connections. Okay, so do this affirmation over and over and over again, and allow your nervous system to truly believe it. When I say affirmations, it's not just about saying the words, it's about the feeling, all right? The feeling is so important. The words are important, but the feeling is more important. and together, together, they are double important. Okay, so those are our 3 questions from today. I hope that by going through this, you feel like you can make better connections, not just with other people, but connect with yourself and really build that internal self-confidence and really understand that confidence isn't something you wake up with. Confidence is just like every other muscle. It's something you have to work towards. So give yourself grace, give yourself permission to build better relationships and to build more confidence. Okay. If you know someone that may benefit from this podcast episode, tag them in the comments below, share this with them. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I would be more than happy to answer them. You could also email me at sabo@saboknows.com with their questions, and who knows, maybe it will appear in next week's episode of the Silicon Valley to Spirituality Show. Thank you, everyone.